Hello everyone, my name is Diana and I would like to share with you today a very special but a rather strange story about some things that happened in the Bible. Today's story is called The Mystery of Pentecost. Are you ready? Good, let's begin. Today's story is in a box that looks rather like the boxes we have for our parables, the special stories that Jesus told. But this box is red rather than gold. So it must be like a parable, but not be a parable. I've got an idea. Let's look inside and see what is in there. Wonder what this could be. Well, there are things in the box that I need to tell the story with, but there's nothing else I need to put out to help us get ready. So all we can do is to begin. There was once a great tower. Everyone who was working on the tower spoke the same language as they worked together. But as the tower grew taller and taller, the people began to speak in different ways. They wanted the tower to reach up to heaven. But soon they began to grow very proud of themselves. They began to think that they were better builders even than God. Each group thought it was better than any of the others. A huge noise replaced their speaking. It made no sense. They were babbling. Soon the tower fell down by itself. So it was called the Tower of Babel. The language of the peoples of the earth was shattered and broke into pieces. Each one was beautiful, but it was only a part of the old way of speaking together. Thousands of years passed. Jesus was born, lived his life, did his work, and then he died on the cross. But that was not the end of the story. Somehow, Jesus was still with the people around him, just as he is still with us. They kept seeing him, and they couldn't let him go. Then one day, something amazing happened. The disciples were all together in the city of Jerusalem. Here they are. There was Peter, James, John, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the Less, Simon the Zealot, and Jude. There were only 11 of them because Judas had already died. Jesus took the disciples out of Jerusalem to a mountain nearby called Olivet. Jesus then went up, and soon the Holy Spirit would come down. The disciples hurried back to the city to wait. They went to the temple first to pray, and then they went to the upper room, and with God's help, they decided that Matthias should replace Judas. On Sunday morning, the 12 were together again. Suddenly there was the sound of a great wind rushing in to be with them. It was the Holy Spirit. They became so full of its power, it's as if they were on fire. Their tongues burned in their mouths. The disciples hurried out onto the street to tell their story. The disciples were so excited that people wondered what had happened. There were people there from many different countries, and they spoke many different languages. But everyone could understand what they were saying. Everyone could see that the disciples had come close to God, and God had come close to them in a new way. The disciples had become apostles, and they went out into all the world to tell the story about Jesus and about God's love. This was the first Christian Pentecost. But it was not the end of the story. Pentecost is still happening today. Whenever people have the courage and the power to tell the story, Pentecost is still happening. It's like fire. Here are some questions you might like to think about now that you've seen this story. I wonder which part of this story you like the best. I wonder which part of this story you think was the most important part. I wonder if there was any part of this story that was especially for you today. I wonder where you were in this story. I wonder if you have ever come close to anything like this before. Thank you for watching.